Happy Tuesday, everyone, where we are less than 48 hours out from the first impacts of a system that is tracking toward Portland, bringing the potential for ice and snow. Right now it is 34 degrees in the Rose City with temperatures set to plummet into bitterly cold territory overnight. That chill feeling even worse because of that relentless east wind. Thanks for joining us. David Molko here with live team coverage as we track several weather impact alert days in our immediate forecast. And we begin with Chief Meteorologist Matt Zafino with the very latest on the timing. Hi, Matt.
Hey, David, it is a cold night out there for sure. Look at Timberline. It's 10 degrees. The wind's at 14 miles an hour. The wind chill is down close to zero right now. In town, we're still at 32 here. Vancouver's at 24, though. 28 in Aurora, 25 up in Scappoose. But if you thought that 10 was cold at Timberline, look at this. It's 18 below in Burns, Oregon right now. Snow cover, clear cold night, light winds, they're in a basin, all that conspiring to allow the temperature just plummet below zero. It's also below zero, 8 below in Baker City. So think of that as a source area. We're not going to get 18 below, but there's very cold air with the east wind delivering it here to the west side of the state. Our wind chill is 26 right now, 32 in Portland. Okay, everybody wants to know about snow on Thursday and into Friday, right? So here's the forecast of our snowfall amount beginning Thursday morning, about 10, 11 o'clock, 10th of an inch of snow, no big deal. But from then until the afternoon, we end up with about 2.5 inches by 4 o'clock. That's when the roads will get messy, slippery, and icy for that afternoon commute on Thursday. And even though temperatures will get a little bit above freezing potentially on Thursday, they're going to drop right back down below Thursday night. So the best case scenario, which is also unlikely, that we end up with just flurries and no ice at all. The worst case, up to 6 inches of snow and about 1/3 of an inch of ice. I don't think we'll go that far, but I think we'll end up somewhere between 1 and 3 inches of snow with maybe 1/10 of an inch of ice. So yes, this is all beginning Thursday morning, as I said, about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, lasting into Friday morning. Roads are going to get slick Thursday afternoon and into Friday. It's a pretty good bet there's going to be school closures too, especially on Friday. So be prepared to stay home if necessary. If you don't like driving on slippery roads, start thinking about what you want to have with you for about 24 hours Thursday into Friday. David?
No kidding. Hoping for the best, planning for the worst. We'll see you in a few, Matt. You mentioned it there with what could be our first substantial ice or snow in the valley this season. Chances are some of us could use a little bit of a refresher when it comes to winter driving. Good option to stay home if you can. If you have to head out and things are slick, chains are the best option, the experts say. Aaron Smithers at the Beaverton Les Schwab points to quick fit chains, which are easier to put on than the old school types. Thank goodness for that. Another option, tire socks, which help provide some extra traction.
Just work that elastic band. Like I said, just kind of like a fitted bed sheet around the back side of the tire. Once you kind of get it to that point, you're going to pull forward or back, and then just wrap that other side. Is going to be towards the top. Just push it to the back side, and then you're good to go.
Okay, you can see it takes a little finagling, right? So the point Smithers cautions that whatever you use, practice putting them on in your driveway or someplace safe before the weather turns. Yeah, tomorrow would be the day for that. Other tips involve leaving extra following distance, letting anti-lock brakes do their job by not pumping them, and keeping extra supplies, so think food, water, clothing, and a cell phone battery pack in your vehicle in case you get stuck. Meanwhile, Multnomah County has opened 2 additional shelters tonight after it ran out of beds last night. The new cold weather shelters, for a total of 5, are at Ascension Catholic Church on Southeast 76 and the Grand Oaks Shelter on Southeast Graham. The county says it did not turn anyone away last night. It just didn't have beds for them. We have a growing list of warming centers. It's up for you now on KGW.com. And by the way, if you need more info or a ride, you can always call 211 for help. Well, if the forecast holds steady come Friday, there's a good chance the ice and snow will impact any Valentine's Day plans. Yeah, remember that? Catherine Cook spoke with local businesses who are asking customers to please plan ahead. Catherine.
Yeah, and David, their advice is indeed get your shopping done as soon as possible. Now, bad weather has crossed over with Valentine's Day in the past, but stores hope this time customers take advantage of this advance warning.
It is our busiest, probably, week of the year.
At Giffords Flowers in downtown Portland, the shop is spilling over with Valentine's Day orders.
Traditionally, it would be roses, but this year it seems like everybody's really wanting like the spring mixes.
As Laura Gifford arranges them, she wishes she could rearrange the weather forecast. It's calling for snow and freezing rain on Thursday and Friday. Valentine's Day.
It's not making us happy that it's coming in, but it's not our first year. I mean, this has happened before, and so we plan for it.
Gifford hopes customers do the same. Her advice? Don't depend on day of deliveries for Friday, especially if you order late. How can customers help you help them?
Well, regardless of the weather, always order early before we run out of stuff. But I would say this year, try to get your stuff tomorrow. Wednesday's still supposed to be a really nice day.
And every day is a nice day when there's chocolate involved.
My wife likes the really, really good stuff.
It's why Tim Miller dropped by Creo Chocolate on Northwest 23rd. And not to brag, but
It feels great to be done days early.
Tim's Valentine's treats are in the bag.
I'm aware that we're going to have a big storm Thursday, Friday, so yeah, wanted to check that too.
We don't want them to get left out, and we certainly don't want to miss them either. Have a great afternoon.
Aaron Ketzenberger with Creo says Valentine's Day is their second busiest season of the year, right after Christmas. He says they've been watching the weather forecast for weeks, hoping it would cooperate.
And so we've been doing the best we can to let all of our customers know, come in early. If you've got flexibility in your schedule, get here before Friday.
Aaron promises the chocolate will still be good. In Northwest Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
On the flowers, maybe everybody wants spring mixes because we are all ready for spring, right? Stay with KGW for continuing coverage of both the extreme cold and as we track the chances of snow and ice later this week. Look for the latest on air, plus anytime on KGW.com, on our app, on our phone, and of course on our streaming app that is KGW+. New at 11, detectives in Washington County say they are looking for other potential victims after a Cornelius man was arrested for sexual abuse of a minor while trying to flee the country. El McCarty has the latest.
It's another unfortunate event of sexual abuse in the community.
Detectives with the Washington County Sheriff's Office Violent Crimes Unit began working the case last October after reports that 39-year-old Jesus Naranjo Gallardo had sexually abused a minor.
During that investigation, the detective discovered that there was some historical abuse that went back as far as 2022.
But before deputies could arrest the suspect, he disappeared, making it as far as Webb County, Texas. Customs and Border Protection stopped him January 10th.
Gallardo was apprehended at the Mexico border in Texas, at which point he was taken into custody and then extradited back to Oregon.
Detectives learned through their investigation that the suspect was working at a local school, Neil Armstrong Middle School in Forest Grove. The district confirmed that he was hired as an instructional assistant back in February 2024, but say as soon as deputies informed them of the charges, he was placed on administrative leave.
That's certainly concerning. You know, someone who has it in their mind that they're going to do something like this, that has access to children repeatedly over and over again, absolutely that's concerning.
Following his arrest, school officials told KGW Naranjo Gallardo no longer works for the Forest Grove School District, sending that same message out to families and staff. To their knowledge, they said no incidents of abuse occurred on the middle school campus.
There's certainly that possibility that other victims, juvenile victims, exist out there that just haven't come forward. It takes a tremendous amount of courage to come forward and bring this stuff up and talk about it.
Naranjo Gallardo is currently behind bars at the Washington County Jail. He will face a judge Friday for 3 counts of sexual abuse in the first degree and 1 count of sexual abuse in the 3rd degree. In Washington County, Alma McCarty, KGW News.
To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, a Portland father was formally charged today in connection with the death of a high school student who overdosed on fentanyl inside his home. Prosecutors say while Human Tony Rahamoon did not provide the fentanyl that resulted in death, he knowingly allowed his son and 15-year-old Lauren Dominguez, who were friends, to use drugs inside his Northeast Portland home in 2023. Rahamoon is now charged with 3 misdemeanors, including 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a minor. We spoke with the victim's parents and the DA.
So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. His name is on the books and we're in court fighting for our daughter and every other youth within the city of Portland.
Do I think there's greater severity to what happened? Obviously, yes. Will we charge individuals that directly give substances to youths when we can prove that? We will.
Rahamoon is due back in court in March. A Salem man is facing bias crime charges after police say he racially harassed and pointed a gun at a Hispanic family. Police say the 2 adults and a young girl were waiting for a tow truck. This was around 5 Sunday night near Coral Avenue and Sunnyview Road. That is when they say 27-year-old Jonathan Hahn brandished a shotgun and shouted racial slurs. Police arrived and seized the gun. Hahn is charged with menacing, bias crime, and unlawful use of a weapon. And in Washington County, authorities have arrested a man for indecent exposure. Investigators say 34-year-old Ryan Dutter would order hot water from drive-thrus in the Aloha area, then linger around parking lots in a way that concerned staff. On at least 2 occasions, they say witnesses reported Dutter touching himself in public view. Police arrested him last Friday and charged him with public indecency and illegally possessing metal knuckles. The sheriff's office is asking any additional victims to please give them a call.